So everyone can see my screen, I hope.
Yes.
Okay. So with this webinar, I'm gonna try to go over all the features from A to Z about that Canva offers to make visual designs. I will talk a little bit also about video editing with Canva, but not a lot. We will mainly focus on image editing and making social media posts mainly. So as you can see, this is the home page of Canva. There's not much to it actually. The important sections is this one, your designs. Here you can see all the designs you've ever made in the past. Um, you have some options to either favorite designs or duplicate them as well, move them to folders, but this is not something that I use mainly. Yeah, and here we have templates. Just know that there's a lot of templates here, but I never actually use templates from this area. I will show you a better way to access templates in Canva. You can also access them over here in templates. Yeah, also here you can filter by your design type, either if it's a social media post that you want to create, to click on the filter, and then you have to further filter it according to if it's an Instagram post, a story, a Facebook post, because all of these have different dimensions. But this is something not extremely crucial in my opinion. What's most crucial is your designs here and this section here. This is where I usually start. Just if I want to create an Instagram post or something, I and it's a you have this preset here. You have Instagram post is square. As you can see, there's not all the presets here. Story, sheets, doc, presentation, social media, etc. So to access more presets, usually just click on social media because that's what I usually work on, or maybe presentation. But for now, you're gonna check social media options, and here you can also filter by Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I bet you can even type TikTok here. You can put TikTok videos. But yeah, so Instagram usually, I mean, recently they don't use this square format anymore. They use this 4.5 format. So to access it, you don't find it here. You have only the square format here on the story. So you go to social media and 4.5. But I want to start now. We'll start actually explain the editor, but I won't choose this format. I will instead choose the square format, and I will tell you why later. And what I'm gonna explain applies to all formats. This is just for the sake of example. So this is the square format. Also, if the format that you're looking for is not here, you can just press custom size and do it manually. So it can be like you can set the width and height if it's something very specific. And as you can see, I have some things that I've used here in the past. Yeah, but yeah, this is not very crucial. It's just if you have some weird format that you want to apply. So we're gonna get into the Instagram editor. All right, this is how I usually start, just a blank page like this. But as you can see, I want to work with a blank page. I will actually work with templates because I think it's a waste of time to work from scratch with nothing on your work page. But before we get that, I want to go through everything, all the features. I want to be as comprehensive as possible. So I will first of all explain the elements that you see here on the bar, this blue bar, all of them. Then I will go one by one, or what you can see in each of these, because these are um, basically the bread and butter of your Canva design. This is where you can find everything that you need. And then I will talk more about the page structure, what you can do with it, how you can manipulate it. Then I will talk about how you can manipulate the elements or the stuff that you have in your design, how you can play with it, how you can customize it. And by this, we would have tackled everything. So let's start with the blue bar. Starting from left to right, you have file, resource, editing. And by the way, I'm using the Canva Pro. Some features that you're gonna see here, they don't exist in the normal Canva. So file, this is the first one, and honestly, there isn't much to do here. Honestly, I don't use this at all, almost. You can use it to upload files, but there's a better way to upload files. Yeah, you can. This is can be important. A bit more advanced settings. You can customize this area, this page area. For example, if you want to show rulers, you have like a bit of a ruler with centimeters. I don't know which is 0 to 100. I doubt that's maybe yeah, centimeters or millimeters. I don't know. Guides, but yeah, you won't really need this. So let's take this away. Also, Canva automatically saves all the changes that you do, so there's no reason to press to click on save. You can make a copy out of this, but you can also make it from the home page, make a copy of your designs, download. There's a download place. So yeah, this is kind of useless. You have resize, which is very useful in my opinion. Suppose we have a design here, like this one, for example. But we've already worked on a design and it's already ready, and but it doesn't fit the size that we want. So we can just click on resize and choose a size that you want. For example, this is a square page, but it doesn't fit the new Instagram aspect ratio. So we can click on social media, for example. We can turn it into something fits in an Instagram reel, post, story, or whatever. We're gonna click on this, and you can either click on resize the design. It's just gonna change this. It's gonna modify the actual design into the new size, or you can just click copy and resize. It's gonna save both. So I can click this, copy and resize, and it's gonna do the work for you automatically. So it created. Now I'm gonna open it, and as you can see, it created it into a new format. Yeah. Okay. So that's the resize feature. It's also a pro feature. Yeah, editing. This is nothing. Here you can. Here you have undo and redo. So if you make a mistake in your design and you want to go back, for example, I deleted the image. I can just press undo and then it's back. But no, I want it to disappear. Then if I want it to disappear, I can just redo. So I can play between these. And also, I never actually use these buttons. As you can see, there's a shortcut. It's Control Z, and yeah, let me just delete it, and Control Z, and it's back. So I just use my keyboard shortcut, Control Z, just like any other. Here it's Control Z shifts, like that. Control Z, Control C shifts. So it saves automatically. Here you can name it whatever you want. Name the post, name test post, and enter. Here, this is the share button. So far right now, only I have access to this design, but I can change this. I can click here and change it to either I can add someone manually, like an email, like sad@coconutwork.org, or I can just make it public. Anyone with the link can edit, or they can view or comment depending on the permission you want to give. So also here you can copy the link to the design. Well, right now it's private, only I can see the link, but yeah, copy private link. And here you can also download your design. So when you're done with it, you just, for example, let's see, we have more than one page. We have multiple pages. So here we can click, now we're done with the design, we want to download it. Click on download. File type, usually for, this is where you select the file type of the image. It can be either PNG, JPEG, PDF, MP4 video if it's actually animated video or has animated elements. We're going to see some animated elements. But yeah, here it's just PNG because PNG is the best for quality. So you set the file type, you can play with the size, but that's not necessary. Compress, limits, transparent background can be useful. Here, this is the most crucial part as well, is you can select the pages that you're going to download. So right now we have 3 pages selected. You can unselect and select manually whichever pages you want to download. So I'm just going to select 1 and 2 and click done and click download. And it's going to download and save it as a zip file that you have to extract, and then it gives you the images. So I said the background feature can be, let me show you why. So let's say we don't have a background here and we want to save this thing here. Maybe we want to save just the image of the girl, the circle, the text, but we don't want any background to be there because maybe we're going to use it for a different design. We can click download and then transparent background, and then it's going to remove this white. Let me see if I have an example of something without the background. Yeah, for example, like this. This is something without a background. If you check the option, if you didn't, it would download something like this with a background. So that's the difference. Good so far? All right. So we're done with these. This is just to save your files and play with them or whatever. Let's get to the main stuff. So starting with the first button that we have here, design button. This is where you can discover all the templates that Canva has, and it has many templates. So we have recently used templates that you've used before. I have quite a few here because I use a lot of templates. You have some recommendations from Canva itself. But what I always do is just target something with keywords or something that I want myself. For example, these are some keywords that I've used before to search for templates that are relevant to me, hate speech, websites, yada. So let's see what we get if we select hate speech. So we have things that are relevant that you can use to make your own design or just get inspired from. So like this, for example, stop Asian hate. If you don't want it, you can just delete it and then do something else. I'll pick this one. Okay. So yeah, the good thing is that this is why this is better than the getting templates from here, because getting templates from here, it's all in different formats and shapes and sizes. But here it's only going to suggest templates for the selected post size, which is in this case square, Instagram square. So all of these will fit your desired post formats. And this is how I usually start working. I never work from a blank page like this. Always I go with a design that I like already or a couple of them, and then sometimes I mix and merge. For example, I can remove this and replace it with this because this is a better font, things of that sort. So yeah, that's it for this one. Let me delete it.
Hey, sorry again, my computer crashed.
Hello, welcome back. All right. Also, a lot of templates are premium for Pro, but hopefully you won't have this issue. Okay, let's get to. Let me see here. You can further. So you can refine your search for templates based on keywords, which I usually do, but you can also refine them based on other things, which is what this button is here is for. So I press on it, and you can filter templates by colors or even by language. So here I have some Arabic, some and English, whatever. So I can, for example, go with something that's orange, and it give me a lot of orange templates. Let me take this one. Yeah. So we're done with design. Now we're going to see the elements tab. This is one of the most important ones, and there's a lot here. And we're going to go with what this offers one by one. So the four main things that you can find in the elements, in my opinion, the four most important things are graphics, shapes, and also frames. So I'm going to explain them one by one. But you can also find videos if you're working on the video. But let's start with photos. So starting with photos, here you have the Photos tab. I click See All, and I have a lot of just stock photos that you may or may not use. For example, I don't like this shirt. Let me just, for example, I'm looking for a photo of a shirt. I can just come here, type shirt, search, and it's gonna give me sometimes it gives you photos with a like this one. Sometimes without a background, like this one. No, I think this is more fitting. You also have recently used photos. These are some photos that are recently used. Magic recommendations. Okay, so we said you can search by keywords. You can also search by keywords and colors. Maybe a green shirt if there's some. Yeah, there's a green shirt. Blue one, doesn't matter. Yeah, more filters, square, vertical, horizontal. Also either free or pro. I think vertical are better. Yeah, you have some vertical ones here. In any case, you have also magic recommendations. Canva uses AI a lot, also for many things that we're gonna see, but also to recommend you elements. So here it's recommending elements based on the photo that we selected. So it saw that we selected the T-shirt, and it gave us a lot of recommendations for T-shirts, even cups, things, clothing items, things of that sort. Okay, I'm gonna talk later about manipulating photos. We're going to talk about this later. I don't want to overwhelm you too much right now. So just know that you have access to photos here, and you also have access to graphics, which I use a lot in my, personally. So I click all. This can be like little cute stuff that you make design cool looking. Can be emojis, can be elements like these. Um, yeah, arrows, whatever. It's graphics, so it's vectors. It can be vectors, logos, even stickers. Also, you can look up whatever you want. Like I want, for example, flowers. So look up for flowers and do like this. I said I'm not going to talk about manipulating the elements too much right now, but you can see you can, especially for graphics, you can adjust colors. So for this one, for example, you can control the colors of it however you want. For example, the color instead of red, we can go with a blue, and here purple. I don't know. So there's a lot of customization that goes into elements. Not all are customizable like that. Some aren't. This one is as well. If it looks like a photo, you can find some customization for colors, but also it can work well, it can not work so well. But for graphics, generally, you can manipulate quite a bit. Yeah, so we have shapes. Shapes is very basic. Uh, this is what I use if I want to create a circle or some lines. Also, I can change the color as well, make this white as well. That's shapes. There's a lot more as you can see here, but this is a bit niche. Like charts. And actually, you can also, yeah, you can customize these with numbers and everything. It's a bit more advanced, perhaps, or depending on your use case. But yeah, you can play with the numbers here if you want. If you have a specific chart you want to make, you can play with the labels, the color as well. The colors here. There is a lot of customization, but too much to go into right now. Um, yeah, lots of stuff. But I wanted to talk about frames because it's also something I use a lot. So frames is just frames for photos basically. So we have quite a few options here. Basic shapes, things that are more stylized, like a photo frame. These shapes, whatever this is, it's a blob. You can have letters. Let's go with something basic like a circle for design. So I have this here, and I can just go to photos, for example, and click and drag whatever I want into the frame, like this. See, now it's attached to the frame. If you want to detach it, you can also either click Control Z like this, or you have the option to right click and click on detach image, and you can pick another one, and then no, I don't want that one, remove it, and you can play with it however you want. So that's it with the graphics. Yeah, also have your grids here, which is like frames, but for entire pages. So you can click add page and select this one and go to photos, and yeah, just fill it up with whatever I want. This one here, this one here, and that one there, like this example. Okay, you have also audio if you're using video. I think these are royalty free. Videos, as we said, stickers. Oh yeah, one thing that I forgot to mention is with, for example, let's say we're looking for flowers, but we're looking for something that moves for like a video. You can actually define that in the filters. Yeah, as you can see, there's colors, orientation, but also animation, either static or animated. Let's see, we want animated. So yeah, we clicked on this and see everything here. Wait, everything here is animated. But in this case, if you include an animated element and you're gonna save this design, it's probably gonna be video. It's not gonna be just like a static image. I think that's it for elements. Okay, let's go to text. So for text, you have the option to, you can start with this, with adding a text box. This is the most basic way to have a text in your design. So just click on text box and it's gonna give you something random like this. And you can later customize it, but I'm gonna talk about that later. This is not very relevant to me in my opinion. Heading, subheading. But also what I do not usually is just I play with the text that's already in the templates that I found, or I go and let me remove the filters. I just maybe type text and see if something cute pops up, you know, and I use that. For example, maybe this one. It's not very special, but looks cool. Yeah, I just copy pasted it. I did Control C and Control V, or you can just drag it from one page to another and get text from other design templates and play with them. So I just double click this to put whatever text I want. This is not a word, for example. I don't know. So yeah. Also, there's something really cool here. Besides just adding a text box, you have different presets for cool looking titles and texts here that Canva just made for you. For example, I like this one, for example. Um, yeah, this one. Just click on it and I have something really stylish. There's quite a lot. This one. It would be hard to make something like this for yourself from scratch, but Canva has it done for you. Usually these are grouped elements, and I'm going to talk more about what grouped elements are and how to group them and yada yada. But yeah, like we have two texts grouped top here. So if you want to edit this, you would have to edit those two texts. Look, like I want to edit big to not, for example, and use. I will double click it, and yeah, something like this. All right, let me just remove this. This. All right, here we have a section for brand. This is also for pro. I don't think this is very relevant, but if you have your own brand, your own organization brand, you can store your logos here, like we have here for Coconutwork. Your brand colors, I think, yeah, I can just click here and it give me the option to apply to all pages. And let's see what it does. Well, didn't do much, but I guess this design isn't very compatible with the color scheme. You can also add your fonts. Uploads. You can upload your images here, whatever files you have, images, files. This is your file history here. Everything that you uploaded is saved up here, including images, videos, and also folders, but I never really use folders. So you want to upload something, very easy. You can just click upload files, and you can double click something and wait for this bar to fill, and then click on it, and then you can use it in your design. Same for videos. Upload something, click on it, and then you have a video, and then you can manipulate it after. It says keywords here, but I don't think this works very well. Let me just type hate speech. I have a lot. Yeah. It can be useful, as you can see. I typed hate speech and it pulled some images relevant to No Hate Embassy, campaigning, fellowship, but there are also images, so it only goes for things that have text in them if you try to sort by text. And I think these are the main ones that you should focus on. Main sections for Canva: design, elements, text, uploads. The rest can be useful, but it's more advanced and there's not much to it. Just know that there's this thing called apps, and you can use apps that are outside of Canva in Canva. These are third-party apps. You see, like for example, there's a lot of AI generation apps here. I'm not sure how good they are because I never use these. But Canva also has its own AI features. We're gonna see those in a bit. Okay, so that's it with this section. Let's see how we can use this navigation panel for Canva, how we can navigate between pages, etc. Okay, so for a carousel, normally you would have multiple pages, page one, page two. So, or if it's a video, it's normally just one page, or maybe you have other draft pages, and then after that you just download one and then you go with that design. But anyway, so if you want to add the page, you can just scroll down, click on add page, and add as many as you want. So adding pages just like that. Okay, this got a bit messed up. Let me put something better looking here. Yeah, how about this? You see here, I just clicked a template and it replaced what I had here. If you don't want that, you just click Control Z and say, no, I still want this. I'm gonna work on it. Create a new page and then click on the templates, and then you're just gonna take out that page, and then another page, and then a different template. But if you want to, you can also create a new page from here. So we have here some options. You can either duplicate this page, which is very useful, or I'm gonna use it on this. I'm gonna duplicate this one, so I'm gonna click duplicate, and it's gonna create clones of the design, and I can, for example, miss this one up and keep this one as backup if I don't want to search for it here again. Also, speaking of which, if you have some, say a template, even an element, a photo, anything that is really like and you want to save, just click here and click on star. So this one is starred, and there is a section here. It's called starred, and you can see all your starred stuff. So as you can see, I have quite a bunch of templates here that I starred in the past. But I think you can do this also for elements or graphics. So let's go for graphics, and yeah, I want to start this butterfly. So click the three dots, and okay, apparently it doesn't give me the option here. You can't star these elements apparently, but you can add them to a folder and add to folder, and then I think you can find the folders here. So I hope I'm not losing you too much, but this is not something very crucial. It's just something extra. So projects, these are the projects that are basically here in your homepage. You can also access them here. Also, you can access folders here in this projects tab. Here are some folders, but you can also access it here. Folders. This was the folder with the butterfly, and here it is. Also, speaking of which, I'm gonna go back a little. Back to the elements thing. I just realized I forgot to mention something important. Um, so say I found something really cool looking, like a graphic, um, like this one, for example. I found this graphic and it's really cool. Maybe I want to see more like it, you know? As you can see already, Canva is giving me magic recommendations based on this, things that are maybe similar in topic, in design, in style. I can click see all and it just gave me a bunch of stuff here. There's a lot of Chinese stuff here, so maybe it's related somehow. A more surefire way is just to click on the three dots, and you have some options here that I forgot to mention earlier. The options are, as you can see, more information about this element, including who created it. So it was created by, as you can see, Ranto Studio. You can click if you want to see more designs by this specific person. You can click on his name and bam, see butterfly stuff, um, graphics that this specific person created, or better in my opinion, see the keywords that will give you something similar to this. So achievements, career efficiency, employee care, etc. Or better yet, click on see more like this, and it will basically give you the magic recommendations that it give you here. So like this, and for example, this element, click on it, see more like this. It's gonna give me more light related stuff because the graphic is light related. I think this can be applied to not just graphics but also photos. Let's see. Click on the three dots. Gives you the creator, the keywords, and it doesn't give you see more apparently. For this one, you have see more. Okay, so we also have see more like this here, and also we have the star option, which weirdly enough we didn't get for the graphic, but we get for the photos. Now let's go back to the pages structure we were talking about. We were talking about adding new pages. So we know how to duplicate pages, or say I don't want to create a new page here, but I want to create it here in between. So there is add page here as well. And you don't like it, you can delete it. If you want to say um, protect this design for whatever reason, you can lock it. So here's a lock button. It says only allow replacing content, but you won't be able to. I'm trying to delete elements, but it's not working. So it's locked. To unlock it, you have to click not just once, but twice for some reason. So unlock again, and now it's locked. This is just a cool feature. You will see that you can also lock specific elements and not just pages, like this one. Boom. You can delete everything but this girl standing here, or modify or move stuff. Let's get it back to how it was. So adding new pages, deleting pages, locking pages, duplicating, but you can also control the order of the pages. So here we have page 1, 2, 3. Say I want this one to be in the front. So if so, this you would move up like this. If you want to move it down, you have also the arrow to move down. A new feature that came up with is, as you can see, when you click add page here, it gives you a page with the same size, same square style of the page that we are working with, or the templates that, or the preset that we started in the beginning of this design. So it's all square. But say you don't want it to be square. Say you want to create a new page inside this design that is of a different size. So you have a little button here, an arrow, click on it, and you have a few options: sheets, doc, presentation, video, social media, whiteboard, websites, and more. More is a custom size. We want, for example, the new Instagram, the 4 by 5. So click on social media, Instagram post, and as you can see, this one is different than this one. This one is square, and this one is the new updated Instagram preset. But better than this is you can, if you click on design here, you will only get templates for the new size. So none of these are square. All of these fits the new size, and sometimes you can find very different templates than the ones you find here. As you can see, some templates are more, I don't know, modern or chic or cool like this. Yeah, this is a trick that I do a lot actually. Ever since this size was introduced, obviously I make my Instagram carousel posts in this size, for example, but I will still start with this one because in this one you can find a lot more templates, especially relevant templates than the new size. I think it's because this one is still new, so it doesn't have as many templates. And let me test this out to show you what I mean. So if I go here and I search, for example, let's say we're working on hate speech. I search hate speech. I will get something that is actually relevant to hate speech. Yeah, the end racism. Let's go with this one, for example. And sometimes you will find templates for carousals, like this one. See these? When I hover my arrow on these, it doesn't give me what you see here. For example, see this is 1 out of 6, 2, 4 out of 6. So this is a 6-page design, for example. This one is just a 1-page design. I can click on it and select whatever design I want, either this or this or this or this or this or this or that. Then I go back. Yeah, that's besides the point. I was talking about hate speech. Here we find something relevant. Here you will see that there is nothing relevant. Thank you, 5K, whatever. Terrorist Day, something about podcasts. So this proves that here there is a lot more templates that you will find here. And this is what I do. Like I start with this, but then I will, for example, copy. I will select. I'm clicking and dragging my arrow and selecting all these elements. So this is how I select them. Just clicking and dragging, and I'm clicking Control C on my keyboard, and I'm gonna turn this into a blank page, delete, and I'll press Control V, and I will change the background to something that looks like the original, and here we go. And now we have something that fits the new size, but using an actually relevant. So that's the feature I was talking about. At page with different, the sky's the limit here. You can even have really huge ones or wide ones or something for which is totally different. And then you have templates for stories, which are, as you can see, all of them are video because it's a story. And it can be static, but stories usually do better when it's something is moving. But yeah, so that's for adding pages, moving between pages. As I said before, you can move elements from one page to another, click and drag. But also the cool thing is, as you can see, I'm gonna go to a completely different design that I have saved up. Yeah, let's say I'm using this NHE templates design that I have here. And bear with me, my phone is a bit slow. My laptop is a bit slow. All right. Actually, these are not editable. Okay, I have others that are editable here. Yeah, this one is editable. Okay. Take elements from this design, but this one is the one that was shared with you, all of you, and it's not editable. So how you make it editable is you just make a copy. You can use it however you want. See, this is the, it says here view only because that's the permission, the only permission you have with this design. So as I was saying, I want to copy an element from this design to this design. I'll just simply click on something, select it, Control C, go here and Control V. And just like that, copy anything from anywhere. I will copy this entire thing. I will select this entire thing Control C, and let me delete these. Control V. Okay. All right, bear with me. We're almost done. So we know how to navigate these pages now. Now let me show you how you can manipulate the elements that we went over the other just now. So obviously you can manipulate the element of any templates that you have. You can manipulate, change the text, images, etc. But let's start from something. Let's start from scratch. Starting from graphics, let's select any graphic. Let's select this one. And so now that my mouse is selecting this element, you will see everything you can do with it here. All of these. And as you notice, there's no colors thingy here, but you have an edit button. Let me show you something different. Elements, graphics. Here you can, it's more organized here. You can see all the kinds of elements you have. I'm going to go with graphics and just vector. Yeah, just maybe something like this. See, here you can manipulate the color and click on color, select whatever color you want, like this. You have a bunch of colors here. Also here, this is, just ignore this. This is from the brand kit. Here you have some random colors, just cliche basic colors. But here you have photo colors, as you can see. Basically what it's doing here is it's drawing colors from this design and it's giving you something that would fit it. So let's bring this here. Let's bring this here. Something maybe more fitting would be this orange. This is also another such element. Color can like this. Let's talk about this color thingy. So if nothing here is to your liking, and also here it will sometimes save the colors that you have used in the past. So it's interesting. You press on this add new color, and you have this I don't know what it's called, like a color wheel or something. So you can play with it however you want here. You can choose whatever color you want. If you have a specific hex code, because every color has its own hex code, maybe you find something on the internet with a pretty cool color, you can just paste it here. I'm just gonna randomly change a letter. I'm not sure what that did. Okay. Yeah, I'm just changing letters and it's changing the colors and the numbers. But what's most useful here, in my opinion, is this thing here, this little pick color. So say I want this to be in this blue. Obviously, we have it saved here. This it's called vivid blue. But if it's not, you can do it manually. You can press here, add new color, and click on pick a color. And here it's gonna see it's zooming on all the elements that you have on your design. Once you settle on the color you want, for example, on this blue, I will just click and damn, it just changed that color. I can do this for, let me just, yeah, I can do this for any part of this design, not just a page. I can go all the way down here and say I want this yellow. Just hover here and look for it and click, and it has changed to that yellow. So this is something I use a lot. More on elements, and once you select, you can change the placement of the element. Obviously, you can change its size. If you go to these corners here, you can click and drag, make it as big or as small as you want. All right. Not just that, but see this thing here? You can rotate it. This little button. If you click and hold, you can rotate the thing. It's like this. Make it a bit smaller. Like this. Maybe rotate it like this to point to the title or something. Yeah. Say we have this element. Let's work with this element. You can already see the colors that it's made up of, so you can pick something that fits a design. I can give it, like, I can control the color of the hat and the shorts, and I can make them match this color, example. But it doesn't look good, so I'm gonna Control Z. I can control its size. See, now I can see the full thing. But let's say I want to cut a part of it and cut the half part. So we have here as well, we have this crop option. Just click on crop and drag to whatever you want. And when you're satisfied, you can click done. And that's it. It's cut in half. You can do this by double clicking it, by the way. You don't have to click on crop. You can just double click and do the same thing. Boom. You can flip it horizontally or vertically. See? Now you can place it here. As before, it would have looked awkward doing it. So let's see, we're gonna put it in the far right, flip horizontally. Maybe you can even flip it vertically. It's up to you. Huh? All right. We have edits, but this edit button, we're gonna talk about it more in the photos. Sometimes it works for graphics, but you don't get all the features, so it's better to talk about it in the photos. Also very important, you can, if you want, you can give it a stroke like this, but this looks ugly. Basically, just click on here and it gives you like a frame to frame it, and you can control how wide it is or what it looks like, but yeah, that looks ugly. Very cool is this feature, transparency. And let's go with something. Yeah, let's go with this one. Let's say, for example, and you can transparency works on anything, photos, text, elements, anything. Let's say I want this to be, even though it doesn't make any sense, and I want it to be black, but I want it to just be low key, just looking like in the background, not taking too much attention. I can adjust the transparency. Click on transparency, drag it down, and it will slowly fade until it doesn't exist anymore. So this is cool. You can do it for this as well, the text, a little red, but not too red. And yeah, let's talk a bit about the photos. Photos, okay. Let's use our own photos. Maybe something I uploaded myself, like this. I can bring it here, stretch it a bit. For photos, you already have the option to to just crop it without having to double click. You just here these things on the side here on the middle parts of the photo. If you drag them, it just cuts it however you want. Right. Okay. So sometimes Canva will let you edit the colors of the photo. Probably use an AI for this. Um, as you can see here, it just decided that these are the colors this photo is made of, and you will see it's not very perfect with photos because it's just doing guesswork. So if I, for example, edit this one to green, see, it just made it looking hideous. But maybe the red will work better. No, it didn't work better. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. In this case, it doesn't. So yeah, for photos, you have different options. You also have the same options you had with the this one. You can flip however you want. You can adjust transparency however you want. You can add a frame to it, and you can also control the color of the frame. So it says here stroke color. I will make it blue like this. Yep. But there's more options with photos. I'm going to show you in a bit. First off, as you can see here, it says background remover. This is something I use a lot. It's super useful. Let me show you a case where it would be useful. Say, for example, in this image, I want just to have, I want to get rid of the blue background. So I'll just click background remover and it's going to do the work. And it did the work horribly. But even if it messes up the background remover, I'm going to show you a different thing you can do to maybe play with it and get the style you want. Let's give it an easier photo to remove the background of, and maybe a stock photo. Let's go with a stock photo. Photos recently used, and yeah, it's not gonna have much issues with this because the background is just one color. I'm gonna try with this one as well. Maybe it'll be more difficult for this one. Okay, so this one, click background remover, and just like that, only kept the Coke. Here, it's gonna be the same. And then you can use these elements like however you want. Like, hey, we are boycotting Coca-Cola or something, just like that. Also, you can even adjust the colors of this Coca-Cola. You can make it yellow or you want. Yeah, see? New brand. All right. For photos, there's more that you can do. So background remover and this edit button is gonna open a lot of options. So there's quite a lot here, and this is where the magic happens with photos. So first of all, starting with just the basics, you have adjust, and adjust is gonna do what any photo editor will do for you. You're gonna adjust the brightness, contrast, highlights, tinker with it to make it look better. Shadows, yeah. I like bright vibrance because it makes the colors more vibrant. And you can also just make it decide how to edit it. Just click auto adjust and well, I don't think it did much. Or maybe it did, but it doesn't appear. Sometimes this can really enhance. Let me try it with this one. Auto adjust, and it made that more bright and more lively. So go back to edit, and let's talk about the AI features. So my favorite AI features of Canva are in this Magic Studio. First one we saw is the background remover. I'm not sure how good it's gonna be in this case. Let's try it out. Yeah, see, removed completely. You have background generator. I never use that. You have magic eraser. I use it a lot. So let's check out magic eraser. So here you can erase a specific part of the image, wherever you want. And you have different ways to use this. You have brush, click, foreground, and text. We don't have any text here, so it's not going to work. Brush is what it says. You can say, I want this guy to be removed. Brush is the worst, in my opinion, because you have to be very precise, I think, with where you brush. Let's try it. Erase, click, and hopefully it's not going to erase too much. So it did its best, but it wasn't the best. Let's click Control Z. Click usually works better. So let's say I want to remove this person. So here the text elements. Sometimes it does a good job, sometimes it doesn't. Let me remove her and click on her and click erase. Yeah, not bad. Completely gone. I can even erase this chair, this leftover chair, because it looks a bit awkward there. It's gonna try its best to fill in the space that you delete. And it could be better, but it's not gonna be too obvious. This floor is a bit wobbly. You can do it. You can do foreground. It's just gonna. It'll be easier to demonstrate with something else. Yeah, with this like this one. So here, edit foreground. We're gonna erase it. Okay. So it detects that this is in the foreground and immediately just click on it, erase, and it's gone. Pretty good job. That's it with Magic Erase. Another cool one that I use is let's go back to Edit, Magic Studio, Magic Grab. Magic Grab is really cool. I use it a lot as well. So same thing. The difference is here instead of deleting the elements, you're just gonna grab it from the photo and use it however you want in a design or anywhere. So click on it because it detects that this is the only. Maybe it can detect that. Yeah, it can detect that. Maybe we want to pick this up, or but in this case, we're gonna pick up a Coca-Cola. So grab it. So it's very cool to separate things from things. See, and now I still have the background, and I still have the elements that I took away from the background. This can work for group photos, for example. This one from Egypt. No, not background remove. Okay, I think you get the point. But let's check the other features with this one. Yeah, let's see. Here we have Magic Grab. If you have a photo with text in it and you just want the text, you can just grab the text. Magic Edit, not the best in my opinion, so I don't use it much. Magic Edit will just you will select a zone and then you will prompt the AI and you tell it what to put in that zone instead of what actually is there. But Magic Expand can be useful. Also, it's not always the best. Sometimes it's a hit or miss. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work well. I want to expand this photo all the way up. See this? I'm clicking here, clicking the edge and dragging up. And as far as you drag up, as much as it will try to fill that space, that empty space, with something that matches the image. So I will select this entire. I want my image to be a square like this, not rectangular. So also, by the way, you can do it manually like this. See, it just tell it to do a square, and it just selected this entire space to fill. But we want to just the upper area. Also, you can drag it to the side, so feel free. But the more you stretch it, the worse the results are going to be. So I usually just go up like this. I don't want it to mess up the feet or anything. And click expand, and you wait. Oh wow, it put the American flag. Thankfully, we have a few options to choose from. Obviously, these are terrible. We have filters, like Instagram filters, some effects, do tone. These are some. There are some useful ones here. Not all of them, but some that I use quite often is do tone, blur, and autofocus. Let's see autofocus. Autofocus. If you want to give a photo a more cinematic look, it's gonna see. It chose to blur the background. Let me just stretch it like this. Blur the. Let me remove this. Chose to, yeah, blur the background, and sometimes it does something weird, like here it just made a shadow here for some reason. But yeah, autofocus. You can also adjust the intensity of the blur. So drag this and the background will get more blurry. Or if you want to blur these three people instead, focus position. See here, it's the area that's highlighted is the area that's focused. So if we drag and then we see the other areas are being highlighted, it's gonna focus on those instead. But this is way too blurry. So it tried to blur the foreground and unblur the background, but the background is already blurred. So this is not a very good example. Um, Let me see a different photo. Let me just reset it to how it was. I guess originally like this. Okay. So that's autofocus. It works best if you don't already have a blurry background or something like this. Blur, it's gonna blur the entire thing. Um, either you can select with a brush, but this will also give you quite bad results. I select him to blur, and see, it kind of doesn't make sense. So in this case, autofocus would be better, or the whole image, and you can do this if you want to blur the entire thing, and then remove it. All right, quite a lot. Do tone, you can manipulate the colors of an image, but you can only choose like two colors. For example, here black and white kinda. If say for example we have this for example, wait, let me just delete this. Say, let me just revert this back, edit do tone, and I'm gonna click on none. Then I'm gonna remove the background and I'm gonna place them next to Coca-Cola. Why is the background not removed? Okay, let me do it again. Okay, here it is. Maybe I want just Gabby to be here, the Coca-Cola ad. But maybe you can make his color something that fits the color of this design, which would be something more yellow. So here we have a lot of presets, but none of them fit, so we can play around it. Highlights, we can select the color of highlights either by dragging, but in this case we wanted to kind of match the background. So pick a color, yellow. See, it's already looking better. And the shadows need to be dark. If you pick something light, it's gonna look all weird. So shadows is dark. So yeah, Gabby Coca-Cola ad. There's a lot to be done with photos. So let me just get this done with. You just can play around with it and it will give you something of a shadow. And then you can play with these settings. So this is as far as it goes. There's more apps that you can use with photos, but that's more advanced. If you want this photo to take up this entire page, you can kind of manually drag it, as you can see, like this. And you see that the outline of the photo, this thing in goes outside of the page. That means the photo is bigger than the page. And these areas, this great part won't appear obviously. But this means you have more space to work with the photo. For example, you can move it to the side like this. But if you move it further, it's just going to be white. So this is the limit, or move it to this side. You can do this if you want to fill the page, or you can right click and click replace background. And it does it automatically. And then you can do the same thing. See? Here it also shows you the part that you can't see, but maybe you choose to not cut this image in this part, so you just drag it like this. All right, now let's talk about text. Text, it's just any text editor that you can find in Microsoft programs or whatever. So we have a text here, for example. We have options for the text here. Obviously, the font. Click on this. You have a bunch of fonts. It also gives you recommendations and recently used. The size, you can either do it manually like this, input a number. This is way too big. Or drag. If you drag, it's also changing the size here. Change the color. Change these. I think we all know what these stand for. You can force it to be uppercase, but also there is, yeah, uppercase. That's where we were. You can choose this. This is the alignment option. So right now it's center aligned. The text is center aligned. You can align it to left, right, whatever. And yeah, okay. This is not a very good example. I want to showcase something. Yeah, okay, this is a better example. So as you can see here, this is the text box. Let me change the color here to something better. No, like this. Yeah, okay. This is the text box, and this is the text. The text box is larger than the text. So there's no problems here. Right now, there's no problems because it's centered. But if you change the alignment, you have a lot of unused space here. And if you're going to write, it's going to keep writing until you reach that space. If you go further than the space, the text box, it's going to you over it. So it will just bring you down like this. But then you can adjust it. So yeah, you should be mindful of the size of the text box because it determines the way your text appears. Obviously, in this case, it would be if you're gonna align it to the left. I will show you some automatic things you can do with lining up elements related to other elements or related to the page. But sometimes you can mess things up if you want to do that, and if the text box is too big than the text itself. So you could just do this, just crop it a bit, and now the text box size is the same as the text itself. But yeah, here we have some options, advanced settings, but they are very useful. You can space the letters. Here you can space the letters. I'll show you. You can space the letters like this, drag this, and see they are spaced up. You can also space the lines. So if you have like a paragraph, you can make the lines with more space or less space. And yeah. Also, you can adjust transparency of the text, as we said before. Something very cool is the effects. Go click on effects, and you have a bunch of options. Say, for example, this background is quite dark, quite dark right now. No problem with this one because it's white, the font is white, but this one doesn't really appear as much because the background is dark. So we can go to effect. You can obviously either do something like, go take a shape and place it under the thing and adjust its color to maybe white, this, and I will show you how you can, for example, now we just got lucky because the square, the square just went right beneath the text, but sometimes it doesn't do that. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. But you can do this with effects and click on shadow, for example, and you can adjust the shadows to something light, or click on lift or hollow, and obviously you can't see it here as much because we can see hollow. I'll give you this. But the ones I use the most are outline. So I can choose the color of the outline and the thickness so that the text stands out more. I can make it as thick as I can, like this, or as low as I want. And obviously others, I'm gonna go over them too much. Background is a nice one. Here we all automatically have a background, and if you add more text, it's gonna add more background to it. And it's aligned to the left. I'm gonna align it to the right, so it makes more sense. Okay, like this. Go back to effect. You can adjust the roundness, make the things look square, spread out or not as much, and obviously the transparency of the background and the color. Yeah, this looks it looks better. All right. Not sure there's much else to do with text, but yeah, that's about it with text. The options you get with text. Now the final part, and I don't know how long this meeting has been going for, but I'm getting thirsty. Okay, one of the most, if you really hate Canva, obviously you would need to practice all of this that we mentioned, and just maybe to revise it, because I try to not linger on things and go over them quickly. But one of the things that can really help you is to know how to play with the elements, because it can get really messy. Let me show you something. Let me give you a design that's quite complex. Yeah, this one. This is pretty complex. So if you don't know how to play with this, say you want to add um, a text, and then it gets over the image, or I don't know, maybe it gets under the image and then it doesn't appear, or maybe you want to upload an element, like, but then it's text. So this is where learning how to play with elements comes in. First of all, in order not to overwhelm you, let's also go to something more simple like this. This is more simple. So we have a few elements. We have text, background, image, and a background. Obviously, you can play with the color of the background here. So click on it, play with the color of the background. Let's keep it white. But see how this is under this image, but this one is over it. And you're gonna wonder how work. How can you control this? This is one of the most important features in Canva. Is the position tab. So click on anything and you get access to this position tab. Also, something I forgot real quick is I forgot to mention this. I think it's interesting to mention. It's this styles, copy style thingy. So you want to have this special thingy be in the same font as this. I don't know what this is. This paragraph. Instead of going manually, saying, "Oh, it's this font, it's this color, it's this font size." Let me just go on, then look up the font size, the color. That's too much work. Click on it, click copy style, and go to the element. See, obviously the element is this one. You can see it with this some purple rectangle. Click on it, and just like that, it copied the font, the color, and let's see if it's gonna give us this cool thingy here. I'm gonna copy this style and add special, Nope, it didn't work because I'm suspecting this is an element and not a text. But this is a text. This is like a graphic. This is a text element. That's why you can copy styles between these. So you can copy between this and this one, and see, it's way much too big. So yeah, that's in brief. Okay, let's go back to position. This is very important, so please pay attention. I will come position and forget about this for a second. Let's go to layers. So see, this is the most important thing to stay organized in any design is to understand that your design contains elements that are layered one on top of another of another. This is an element, this is an element, this is an element. You can have access to all the elements here. And if you go to this one that's more complete, let me delete the rest. If you go to this one that's more complicated, you can see a ton of elements. So many, even the background is an image that's attached, so I can also detach it. See, so yeah, you were to begin without this position tab. So if you want to work on this template, for example, I would start with seeing what it contains and then working on the elements here. So instead of, for example, trying to select this, let's see, this is bigger, this is bigger, you know, yeah. I want to select this image that's behind this lady. This lady is in the way. So I go to position and there's nothing stopping me from seeing everything that this design contains. So I can go here and yeah, I have access to it. I can make it like this or even delete it now if I want. It's gone. Otherwise, I think this is part of the reason why you can hate Canva, because if you don't know this, it's going to be a real pain. So yeah, this here you are in control, and this is good. So the thing that you need to understand is that these are layers. Each element is a layer, and layers are stacked. This comes on top of this, and this comes on top of this. This comes on top of this. The ones on top are the ones that are going to be on the front of the design. So if you if you this website can't be masked by any other element because it's on the very top. So I can make it as big as I want, and I can give it 1,000, and see, nothing is gonna come in its way. It's gonna, but you can't say the same about this. If this really big, everything else is still gonna be on top because it's at the very bottom. So this is how everything is stacked. This is on top of this here. If we change the order, I can do this. I can select a layer and bring it down. And see, it's going to be masked by the element that comes on top of it. Let me bring it back. Usually you would have the text on the top, and as you can see, background is on the very bottom, and it's there by default. You can't move it at all because it's a background. It has to stay there. But yeah, let's go back to here. This is more simple. So I can bring this on top of here, and it's going to look like this. Let's put it here. Now it's really painful to access this text that's under this girl if you don't add the position, but you can still do it. And here's a shortcut. Shortcut is I just do with my keyboard Control and click. It didn't do anything. I'm gonna click again. Now it's selected to the thing that's under. So yeah, I can bring it. That's a bit of a shortcut, but you can also just do it like this. It's the same basically. All right, let's talk about how to organize the positioning of elements. And you get this, as you can see, position layers, but we also have this arrange tab here. And here it's going to arrange or align your element to the page. It can be have a bunch of options. Middle, it's going to put a data in the middle of the page. Center, it's going to center it. Top, it's going to put on top. Bottom, right, left, yada yada. I prefer doing this like this. I just right click and align to page and center, for example. Right click, align to page and middle, for example. And yeah, this is align elements in the page. This is advanced. This says advanced. And if you have a really specific coordinates or a placement for an element, you can use this. You can give it the X and Y coordinates for it. Say I want this and I want it to be stacked on top of this, like exactly stacked on top. It's not going to be very difficult to do this. See, it just snap into place. But a more surefire way is to copy the coordinates of this and put them here. See, I'm different elements and it's showing different coordinates here, X and Y. So I'm gonna copy the X of this, Control C, Control V. I'm gonna copy the Y of this, Control C, Control V. And yeah, you can even change, control the rotation, maybe 90 degrees, because this is, like snap into place, 180 degrees, like this. All right. So let's talk about aligning elements to each other. So let's put this to the right. Okay, let's keep it to like this. I want to align this to this. This should be on top of this in the center, for example, dead in center. So I will click here. I will hold Control key in my keyboard, and I will click here. No, I'll actually it's Shift. Sometimes I mix them up. So if it's not Control, it's going to be Shift. These are the most useful keys on your keyboard. So click here, Shifts. I'm holding the Shift button. Click in here. Now I have two elements. It's giving me new options now. Group, lock, duplicates. I can duplicate them both at the same time. I can move them both, at the same time because they're both selected. Or I can align them according to each other. So align elements. Now we don't have align to page. We have align elements. And click center and bam. And now you can, for example, align to page. You can do this also manually if you don't want to use. If you're you can be precise about it, but it can also work because Canva will show you some guidelines. I'm gonna just hover this, see, and drawing a line in the middle. That means these are lined up in this. I can keep doing this and see it's lined both to this one because I'm getting plus lines here. Now it's just aligned to the text on the right. I can do this. Now it's aligned to up. Okay, it's not lining up. Let me do this. Now it's aligned to the text here. All right. Say by the way, you can do this also if you have, this is easy, but here it might be harder because you have more elements. So you can do it like I said before, go to position, go to layers, select the elements that you want to align. For example, I want special to be in the center of this image, and maybe let me make special a bit more special. I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna see where the element is. This I'm gonna hold Control because if I hold Shift, it's gonna select everything. So hold Control, and I can, either here I can just align elements and click center. See, yeah, now I can move them together, whatever. If I want to edit multiple text elements at once, maybe I want to change the colors of all this text to just be black. So I'm clicking here, I can select all of them at once, or I can click here, Shift here, and then see text color. You see here, there's many colors. It means this group has many colors. I just want them all to be black, so click here, and they're all black, or they're all red, or all brown, or all of them are transparent, or if there's, or you can unify their fonts like this, all of them at once. So yeah, you can work in bulk like this. All right. What else do we have? Also, you can select elements just by click and drag. So like this, but you have to be very careful. You can like it's very easy for me to select this image, but I don't want that, so I just do this and bam. Now I can move them all together, do what I did earlier, change the font color, etc. I can also change their size, all of them at once. I can even rotate them all at once. It's like they turn into one element if you put them like this. But it can go further. Say um, you need to work on this group quite a bit and you're going to be tired of selecting it every time. So you can just option to group and bam, all of them. This is much more neat. Now you can rest easy that you don't have to select them every single time, and you can also edit individual elements, even if they are all grouped. Like go and change its color, just it like this. So it's very cool. I love this group feature. I use it a lot because without it, it can get very chaotic. I can ungroup. I can select what to group. For example, I just want to select this. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold shift. Select this, do like this, and group. And I want to put all of them here and all of them to be white because they work better if they're white. So yeah, you can do this. For example, if you want to align everything together to the center. For example, let me do this. Coming soon a bit smaller. This one a bit smaller. All right, it's quite a mess. I can do this elements center, and then I can group them, and then I can also align them to the page now. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And now I can ungroup them or whatever. As you can see, the spacing between this and this is not coherent. There's almost no space here, and there's a lot of space here. You also can do this. Canva has this option to fix this. Select, and space evenly, and just you can tidy up just like that. Or vertically, horizontally doesn't work in this case, but you can also just space evenly, and you can space them vertically. All right. See, even if you have a something here all the way to the side, and then you click like this, space evenly, tidy up, and then, well, they would bring them to the center like this. All right. So yeah, after you're done with your design, and also you can lock elements, as I said before. You will selecting almost everything but that element, and you can delete it, and that element won't delete. So after you're done with your design, click share, download, pages, you're done, and you click download. And that's it. You have the ability to edit videos as well in Canva, but that's a bit more in depth. And I don't recommend you edit videos using Canva because it can be a bit annoying. But say, for example, let's start something new. I want to create a video. So go to videos, story, whatever. As you can see, the strong point of Canva is not really video editing as a whole, but let me show you. See, like these things, this introduction, this text elements, this graphics, they were included in the video through Canva, but only after the video was already edited. So click on edit. I'm not sure why it's not giving me the video editor. Maybe I'll just select this. See, now I have the actual video editor. It looks different. And I can put this here, and you can do what you can do with a normal video editor, trim, cuts, things of that sort. But I find it a lot more awkward doing it here. But the cool thing is that I can go like I want, for example, moving elements of a light bulb, and I want it to be animated, and I can include it in my video like this. And I can also, if I go here, I can I can have it just for the first 3 seconds. See, it's nice because you have access to a lot of elements that are animated, and yeah, that's about it from my side. I'm not sure how long we've been talking for. I guess we're gonna end it here. Thank you for following along, and when I upload the offline version, I'm gonna share it in the group. And thank you for following along.